Ethan muttering to himself. I swear, I was sent here for diplomacy. Not botany. Definitely not botany. He pulls up his communicator, scrolling past a very official-looking document. His eyes lock onto a far more interesting rumor in the local data logs, one about a forbidden garden of sensory ecstasy. He snorts. Ethan. That is the most ridiculous name I've ever heard for a wait. Unlocks sensations never before felt by the flesh. He leans forward, rereading the entry. His brow furrows. Ethan. Okay. So, I've got to check this out. Hours later, he's sneaking past a line of alien guards, squeezing between two bioluminescent trees, and tumbling into the most surreal landscape he's ever seen. Everything pulses. The vines hum softly, almost like they're breathing. Strange fruits hang from the branches, shiny, swollen, dripping with something thick and golden. The air is heavy with a scent that makes his pulse quicken. Ethan grinning. I should not be here. A flower unfurls beside him. Its petals stretch slowly, revealing a strangely inviting shape. His eyebrows shoot up. Ethan. That's definitely not how flowers look on Earth. He shakes his head, stepping deeper into the forbidden garden. Beneath his boots, the vines twist and shift like something alive. He ignores it. His eyes lock onto a single, glowing fruit on a low-hanging branch. Ethan. Well, hello there. The fruit is large, glistening, suspiciously smooth. Its skin glistens under the soft light, taut and swollen. He reaches out, fingers wrapping around it. The second he touches it, a low, vibrating hum fills the air. Ethan narrowing his eyes. That's probably fine. He plucks it. A thick drop of golden juice slides down the side. Ethan. Huh. Really should not eat random alien food. Beat. Ethan. Screw it. He bites in. A burst of sweet, intoxicating nectar floods his mouth. It's thick, rich, and slightly tingly. His body jolts, not painfully, but deeply, strangely. Ethan. Oh, damn. The garden shudders. The vines tighten around his ankles. The ground rumbles beneath him. Ethan. Did I just activate something? A breeze rushes past, carrying a low, feminine sigh. The temperature rises. Ethan licking his lips. Okay, that's weirdly good. Something stirs in the distance. A figure emerges from the shadows. Tall. Elegant. Emerald skin gleaming under the bioluminescent glow. She steps closer. Eyes locked onto him. Breathing a little too hard. Ethan, raising an eyebrow. Hello? Her glowing gaze drifts down to the half-eaten fruit in his hand. Then back up. Her expression shifts, horrified. Zayleth, voice tight. You consumed the bound fruit. Ethan, chewing slowly. The what? She takes another step closer. The vines around them react, tightening. Zayleth, dead serious. The fruit you have consumed binds you. Ethan, gulping. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of important words but not liking the way they're being used together. Zayleth. You do not understand what you have done. Ethan. To be fair, I just got here and thought I was having a light snack. The vines tighten more. His feet lift slightly off the ground. Ethan. Okay. Not loving this part. Zayleth exhales slowly. She tilts her head, studying him. Zayleth. You must face the consequences. Ethan, nervous chuckle. I mean, how bad could it possibly be? Beat. Zayleth. You are now my mate. Silence. Ethan, blinking. I'm sorry, I think I hallucinated just now. What? Zayleth crosses her arms. Zayleth. You have ingested the fruit of bonding. The garden has acknowledged it. You are bound to me. Ethan. Okay. Look. There's got to be some kind of alien loophole, right? Like a refund policy? A grace period? Maybe I can throw it back up. Zayleth, sharp. You may not take back what you have swallowed. Beat. Ethan, muttering. Really could have phrased that better. The garden pulses again. The air grows warmer. The vines brush against his arms, almost caressing. Ethan nervous. So, when you say mate. Zaylith. You belong to me now. Ethan. That's a really aggressive way to phrase it. The vines twist tighter, pulling him toward her. Their bodies almost touch. Ethan. Okay, I am rapidly moving from mildly concerned to actively sweating. Zaylith exhales, studying him again. Zaylith. We must complete the ritual. Ethan, laughing nervously. A ritual? Yeah, see, whenever a mysterious alien woman says the words, complete the ritual, I get very, very concerned. The vines coil tighter. The air hums. Zaylith tilts her head. Zaylith. You may relax? It is not painful. Ethan. I really don't love how you keep phrasing things. She sighs. Zaylith. You are clearly unprepared. I will explain, but first we must begin. Ethan. Define begin. Zaylith. The first step is submission. Beat. Ethan. Yeah, I walk directly into this one. The garden pulses. The vines wrap tighter. Zaylith steps forward, lifting a hand to his chest. Ethan inhales sharply. Ethan. Oh. We're really doing this. Zaylith. Do not resist. Ethan. Kinda resisting. Zaylith. It will only make it last longer. Beat. Ethan muttering. Okay, now you're definitely doing this on purpose. Zaylith's lips twitch, just slightly. She leans in. Ethan. I am both deeply alarmed and slightly intrigued. The garden shudders. The vines pull them closer. The ritual has begun. Ethan, softly. I have made so many mistakes today. Ethan. Okay, hold on. Just so we're clear, this ritual doesn't involve, like, alien sacrifices or weird exorcisms, right? Zaylith, deadpan. You insult me. Ethan. I insult myself by being here. The vines tighten slightly. Ethan barely has time to react before Zaylith steps even closer, her intense gaze locking onto his. Zaylith. The garden has chosen. There is no reversing it. Ethan, nervous laugh. Right. No takebacks. Got it. Awesome. She lifts a hand, pressing her palm flat against his chest. The second her skin makes contact, a warm shiver rolls through him. The vines around his wrists twitch. The air between them practically crackles. Ethan. That is very concerning. Zaylith. You are feeling the bond take root. Ethan. Yeah, sure, let's call it that. Zaylith exhales slowly, studying him like he's some kind of puzzle she's trying to solve. Zaylith. Humans resist too much. Ethan. Well, you're kind of springing a lot on me all at once. Maybe ease into the whole lifelong commitment to a woman I just met in an aggressive, sentient garden thing? Zaylith, tilting her head. You do not wish to bond? Ethan. I'm saying let's at least have dinner first. Her expression flickers with something unreadable. Zaylith. You jest, but the ritual requires consumption. Ethan. Consumption of what, exactly? A vine coils around his wrist, tugging slightly. Zaylith's lips part, and for a split second, Ethan swears she looks almost amused. Zaylith. You will see soon enough. Ethan. That's the least comforting thing you've said so far. She lifts her other hand, tracing a single finger along the center of his chest. His breath catches. He wants to move, but something about the way the vines tighten just slightly makes him think twice. Ethan. Okay, you've got a very strong commitment to eye contact, I respect that, but… Zaylith. Do not fight it. Ethan. Yeah, see, that's a phrase humans don't love hearing in certain contexts. Zaylith hums. The garden shivers around them. Ethan swears he hears something whispering in the leaves. The temperature definitely ticks up a degree. Ethan. Look, I just think maybe… Whoa! The vines shift again, adjusting his stance, tilting him forward until their faces are almost touching. Zaylith holds her ground, unreadable. Zaylith. You react so strongly? Fascinating. Ethan. I react strongly when I'm kidnapped by a horny garden, yes? Zaylith leans in slightly, her voice softer. Zaylith. You fear this? Ethan. I fear a lot of things right now, honestly. Zaylith. There is no fear in bonding. Ethan. Okay, but there's a lot of implied pressure. Zaylith steps back just slightly, her gaze flicking downward. Zaylith. You are tense. Ethan. Very astute observation, yes. Zaylith. The ritual requires you to relax. Ethan. Yeah, well, the ritual should have sent me a polite invitation in advance. Zaylith exhales. The vines soften their grip, just slightly. Ethan breathes out a little, only to tense right back up when she reaches down, plucks another fruit from the vines, and holds it up to his lips. Ethan. Okay. What's that? Zaylith. The second offering. Ethan. Yeah, see, I have some concerns about what the first one did. Zaylith. Eat. Ethan. Define eat. Zaylith. Take it into your mouth and accept the connection it brings. Ethan muttering. This garden is really committed to making everything sound wildly suggestive. She holds the fruit closer. Ethan stares at it. It's smaller than the first one, darker in color, and dripping thick golden nectar down her fingers. He swallows hard. Ethan. And this does what, exactly? Zaylith. It allows the garden to recognize you fully. Ethan. I don't love that wording. Zaylith gives him a patient look. Zaylith. Eat. Ethan. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Zaylith. No. Ethan exhales sharply, eyeing the fruit one last time before muttering under his breath. Ethan. Okay. Fine. He leans forward. The second he takes a bite, the vines tighten again. A rush of heat floods through him. His pulse kicks up. The garden shudders in approval. Ethan. Oh, that's definitely doing something. Zaylith watches intently. Her expression shifts ever so slightly, like she can feel it too. Zaylith. Good. Ethan. Good? You sure? Because I think I just unlocked a new emotion and I don't know how to categorize it. Zaylith reaches up, brushing a single fingertip along his jaw. The vines flex. Ethan swears he hears something purring. Zaylith. You are accepting it now. Ethan. Accepting is a strong word. I'd say enduring. Zaylith. The bond deepens. Ethan. Cool. So glad I skipped the guided tour before coming here. Zaylith's lips twitch in what might almost be amusement. Zaylith. You will be ready soon. Ethan. Ready for what, exactly? She steps closer again, tilting her head, her voice almost soft. Zaylith. The final stage. Ethan. Yeah, see, I'd love a detailed PowerPoint on that before we proceed. She doesn't answer. The vines shift, adjusting their positions slightly. The air grows heavier. Ethan, softly. Oh, I've made so many mistakes today. The garden hums. The ritual continues. Alright, so just to recap, I eat one weird fruit, now I'm engaged to an alien, and there's a final stage I wasn't warned about. This day just keeps getting better. Zaylith. The ritual is nearly complete. Ethan. Right, sure. And let me guess, this is the part where I get turned into some kind of plant hybrid love slave. Zaylith, raising an eyebrow. That is not how bonding works. Ethan. Great. Fantastic. So how does it work? Zaylith steps closer, eyes glimmering with something unreadable. The vines around Ethan's wrists loosen, only to curl around his waist just a little tighter. His breath catches. Ethan. Nope. I've seen enough bad situations in my life to know where this is heading. Zaylith. You still resist. Ethan. Because I feel like I walked into a trap designed specifically for horny idiots. Zaylith, calmly. And yet you remain? Ethan. Because the garden literally won't let me leave. She exhales, tilting her head slightly. Zaylith. You misunderstand. It is not that the garden will not let you leave. It is that you have already become part of it. Ethan, blinking. That feels deeply ominous. The vines shift again. A warm pulse rolls through the air, brushing over his skin. The ground beneath him feels softer. Almost like it's breathing. Ethan. Okay, let's just hit the pause button real quick. Zaylith. There is no pause. Only completion. Ethan. That's the single most terrifying sentence I've heard today. Zaylith doesn't react. Instead, she lifts her hand once more, this time pressing 2 fingers lightly against his throat. The vines coil in response, like they're sinking to his pulse. Ethan. Oh, we're really committing to this, huh? Zaylith. You have felt it already. The connection. Ethan. Oh, I've felt something, all right. Zaylith watches him carefully. Zaylith. Your body adjusts. Your mind resists. Ethan. Well, forgive me for not throwing myself headfirst into an arranged marriage via aggressive plant life. Her lips pressed together in thought. Then. Zaylith. Perhaps you require further demonstration. Ethan. I really don't like the way you just said that. A low hum rises through the garden. The vines shift, guiding Ethan closer to Zaylith. Ethan. Okay, listen, I don't want to alarm anyone, but the plants are actively participating now. Zaylith. The garden responds to desire. Ethan. I do not like how you just assumed I'm involved in that process. Zaylith steps forward. The heat between them increases. The vines around his arms shift slightly, like they're testing him. Ethan. You know, normally I like to take things slow, maybe some light conversation before irreversible alien binding rituals. Zaylith. Your heart rate increases. Ethan. Because I'm concerned. Zaylith. Fascinating. Ethan. Oh, great. I'm a science experiment now. Zaylith exhales. The glow around them intensifies. The vines quiver. Zaylith. It is time. Ethan. Time for what, exactly? Because every time you say something like that, things get increasingly more hands-on. She studies him for a moment. Then, without warning, she plucks another fruit from the vines and holds it out to him. Ethan. Okay, so this is just happening now. Zaylith. The final offering. Ethan. Alright, I know how this works by now, what's the catch? Zaylith. There is no catch. Ethan. Oh, I highly doubt that. She doesn't answer. Instead, she holds the fruit directly to his lips. It's softer than the last 2, darker, and absolutely dripping with nectar. His throat goes dry. Ethan. You're doing this on purpose. Zaylith, calmly. Eat. Ethan. That's not a request, is it? Zaylith. No. He exhales sharply. Then, hesitantly, he leans in. The second he takes a bite, the garden shudders. The air pulses. Something warm and dangerously pleasant shoots through his veins. Ethan. Oh. That's so. Zaylith steps even closer, watching his reaction. Her voice is softer now. Zaylith. You feel it. Ethan. I'm feeling a lot of things right now. She lifts a hand to his chest again. The second she touches him, everything locks into place. Ethan. Oh no. I think I get it now. Zaylith. The bond is complete. Ethan. That's great. Really great. So great. Except I don't know what that actually means. Zaylith tilts her head. Zaylith. It means, you are no longer separate from us. Ethan. Okay, again, not super reassuring. Her fingers press against his skin just slightly harder. The vines tighten. Ethan feels it. Ethan. This garden is way too hands-on. Zaylith just watches him. The glow of the garden intensifies. The air thickens. Ethan swears he can hear something whispering in the vines. Ethan, softly. Oh, I have really done it this time. The garden hums. The ritual is nearly complete. So, quick question, what exactly happens if I fail this ritual? Zaylith. Failure is not an option. Ethan. See, that's exactly what someone says before something irreversible happens. Zaylith. You have already consumed the final offering. There is no turning back now. Ethan. You keep saying things like that and expecting me to just nod along. Zaylith. Because it is the truth. Ethan. It's a truth. It's not a great truth for me personally. The vines around him shift, tightening with purpose. He instinctively tenses, but Zaylith exhales and places a single palm against his chest again. Zaylith. You resist too much. Ethan. Because I don't love the implications of being forcibly included in an intergalactic bonding ritual without, a discussion first. Zaylith. You were chosen. Ethan. I ate a fruit. Zaylith. The fruit chose you. Ethan. That is not how eating works. Zaylith tilts her head, studying him once again with that calm, unreadable gaze. Zaylith. Perhaps a demonstration is necessary. Ethan. Why does that sound like a very bad idea? The garden pulses. The vines flex. Ethan barely has time to react before one of them lifts him slightly off the ground, repositioning his stance. Ethan. Okay. Nope. Nope. Zaylith. Be still. Ethan. I cannot be still while a plant is actively manhandling me. Zaylith. The trial of the blossoming will determine your final standing. Ethan. The what now? Zaylith lifts a hand. The vines around them quiver, and suddenly, something large begins to stir from the center of the garden. Ethan. Oh, that can't be good. The ground shakes slightly as massive petal-like structures unfold, revealing a towering plant-like entity, glowing softly in the dim light. Ethan. Oh, that is definitely not good. Zaylith. You must prove your worth. Ethan. Define worth. Because if this involves me getting eaten, I'd really love to renegotiate. Zaylith. You must simply endure. Ethan. Oh, great. That's so specific. The vines suddenly snap forward, wrapping around his wrists, his waist, even his legs. They pull, guide, shift until he's perfectly positioned in front of the massive pulsating structure. Ethan. Okay, see, now I just feel extremely objectified. Zaylith. Do not fight it. Ethan. You keep saying that and I keep ignoring it. The structure before him quivers, releasing a strange, hypnotic aroma. His head swims slightly. Ethan. Oh, that's cheating. The vines tighten. Zaylith watches him closely. Zaylith. You will adapt. Ethan. Or die horribly, that's also an option. The structure pulses. The air grows thick. Ethan clenches his jaw, focusing on literally anything else. Ethan. Okay. Think about something non-threatening. Baseball. Taxes. That time I accidentally walked in on. Nope, never mind, bad mental detour. Zaylith. You are adjusting. Ethan. I am panicking. The vines soften slightly, shifting less like restraints and more like something else. Ethan. Is the garden flirting with me? Zaylith watches him carefully. Zaylith. It approves. Ethan. Of what? Zaylith. Your acceptance. Ethan. I am not accepting anything. The garden hums. The large structure finally recedes, vines releasing their grips slowly, deliberately. Ethan collapses slightly forward, catching himself just in time. Ethan. Oh, I hate that I got used to that. Zaylith lifts a single hand, brushing her fingers across his temple. He shivers. Ethan. You know, this entire day has been a deeply humbling experience. Zaylith. You have passed. Ethan. Great. Fantastic. So what exactly did I just pass? Zaylith. The garden accepts you fully. Ethan. Yeah, you said that, but I still have no idea what that actually means. Zaylith tilts her head, considering him for a moment. Then, slowly, she takes his hand. Zaylith. You belong here now. Ethan. Oh. Cool. Yeah, no, totally fine with that. Not trapped at all. Zaylith. There is no need to resist. Ethan. That's exactly what someone says before a cult initiates you into something weird. Zaylith leans in slightly. Zaylith. You have much to learn. Ethan. Oh, I highly doubt that. The vines tighten around his wrists one last time before finally receding completely. Zaylith steps back, watching him with unreadable amusement. Ethan. So, what now? Zaylith smiles slightly. Zaylith. Now you stay. Ethan. Oh. Oh no. The garden pulses. The air hums with a strange, satisfied warmth. Ethan. I feel like I just signed up for something without reading the fine print. Zaylith nods. Zaylith. Yes. Ethan. Great. Awesome. Love that for me. The vines shift once more, gentle this time, almost reassuring. Ethan exhales sharply, rubbing a hand down his face. Ethan. You know, I have no idea how I'm gonna explain this to my boss. The garden hums. He isn't leaving.